Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, welcome, and for those of you who are returning viewers, thank you so much for dropping by again. For those of you who are new, my name is Lily. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. For today's video, it's actually going to be a two-part. The first part is going to be about my favorite wallets from Lululemon and the newest addition to my Lululemon collection. And the second part is going to be a quick life update. So if you don't want to stay for the entire video, we're going to talk about the Lululemon items first, and then I'll give you all an update for those of you who are interested. All right, so let's get right into it. For the Lululemon wallet that I've been really enjoying and using quite frequently, if you've been on this channel for a while, you know I've been using it quite a lot. It's basically this one, and this one is called the Lululemon Clippable card case, I believe. It's something along those lines. I'm going to put the link to this in the description below so you can also go find it yourself. But what's amazing is that they come in a variety of colors, lots of very festive colors. If you're into neutrals, they definitely have neutral options for you as well. But I love these so much that I actually have 3 in my collection now, and I'm going to show you all 3. One of them is a newer addition to my collection, which I haven't shown yet, so I'm going to show that during this video. But let me tell you kind of why I think these are such great items. I have wallets that are very expensive. I have wallets that, you know, are made out of leather or made out of canvas, and they're gorgeous pieces, but I always gravitate for the Lululemon ones, and I've just been using them so much, and I just really love it. So this is the first Lululemon wallet I actually had in my collection. This particular model, it's in this very pretty I think it's more like a purpley pink kind of color. It's just so nice. It's obviously all of these are nylon. One of them probably isn't on the outside, but I'll show you in a little bit. But basically it's nylon. It's very lightweight. It's like water repellent, I believe. And what's really nice is obviously it's called a clippable card case because you can clip it to anything. This is what the D-ring looks like, and do excuse my nails. I do need to get them cleaned up. But basically, if you can see here, it's like a, you know, it's like a little clasp here. You can clip these to anything, and I'll show you with the one that I'm currently using how I use this clip here. But basically, you have this white zip here, and in here you have a very spacious compartment with 1, 2, 3 card slots here, as well as a back pocket. So because this is nylon, obviously I've already explain it's very light, but because it's also nylon, it's very flexible. So you can fit so many cards in here, and you don't have to worry about, not being able, this, like, look at how large I'm, opening this up. It's very flexible. It's very lightweight. And what I love about it is that even though it's so slim and compact, even when you fit a lot of things in here, it still remains very slim and compact, and it just fits so much. It has a very sturdy sort of zipper here. This one is in the silver tone. I think all of them I have. Yeah, all of them I have. They are in the silver tone. I don't know if they come in other colored metal. I mean, I don't know if they come in other colored hardware, but essentially all 3 of them that I have, they're all silver. So the price point for this is $34. This first one that I actually got it on sale, so I didn't even pay $34. And if you go on the Lululemon website, they often have basically their sales every day. Different items rotate. Different colors rotate. Typically, it's the more, vibrant colors or not neutral colors that go on sale. So if you're into different types of colors, I think that you should definitely look on the sale section. And basically, I got this on sale. And for $34, even full price, I think this is such a great deal. I have washed this a couple times. Now, I guess here, we can tell, right? So this is not the traditional one. I will show you the traditional one in a little bit. Obviously, I don't have the Lululemon logo here anywhere, but it just has the wording. And you can see here that there is, it's basically kind of peeling, right? You see that it's peeling because this is sort of like, I think it's like a stick-on type of thing. So do note that is one con, I suppose, is that it will potentially peel if you are rough with it over time, or if you wash it. I've had this for at least a year now, I believe, and I've used it a lot, and I honestly don't really mind that. But if you are not into this type of, style with the big brand name here, here's an alternative. This is my second one to my collection, and I also love it because I love the coloring of it. Now, as you can see, this one is different. There is no Lululemon naming here or brand here. There is just this one logo here. So it's a bit more discreet if you don't really know. I mean, it's not even I wouldn't say this is like a luxury brand. I think that this is more it's very affordable, but it also is very high quality. So I don't know how you would classify Lululemon, but you know, if you're not into brands or anything, you know, it is very discreet. So you don't have to worry about, you know, flashing anyone or anything. I just really like it about this. And this is a rubber material. I can see that there's definitely some coloring on here. So this one I definitely haven't had as long as this one, but do notice that there's coloring on here. Honestly, I don't really care. It's worked really well, and it still continues to work really well for my lifestyle. And for being $34, I mean, I think there are some that are a bit more pricey depending on the print, if it's like a limited edition or something. But it's just, you know, you can't go wrong with these. They are just so great. I can fit so many cards in here. I can fit my coins. I can fit coupons. I can fit so many things here, receipts. And I also have a back pocket that is super, super flexible. So I really just cannot rave enough about these. So yeah, I love, love, love these wallets. I do have the one that is actually it's like the wristlet with the dual pouch. I don't like that one as much because I feel like it's a lot to carry around. And I feel like this is more substantial in terms of the size and what it can fit. So I actually prefer this one a lot more because I can literally fit everything I need into this slim wallet. I think it's just fantastic. So the last one of these that I have in my collection that is actually the newest edition is going to be this one. Oh my God. Okay, so I really, really like this one. When I saw it online, I actually didn't realize that they came out with this until I was watching a YouTube video, and I forget her name, but she talks about Lululemon items a lot, and I guess that's my news there. So I saw her showcase this color, and she showcased the belt bag. So I went online to see if they sold anything else. I love this iridescent color, but I think that the belt bag might just be a little bit too much for me. I think something small like this is much more my style. I didn't want to be wearing a, you know, iridescent belt bag, but I really love this style. So I don't think this is the same. This is definitely not the same nylon material on the outside. It's more like a wrinkly, I don't even know how you would classify this, but basically it has that sort of like raincoat texture to it, if you get my meaning. This one was more expensive than $34 because I think it was, you know, because of the iridescent, I forget how much it was, but it was not more than $50, which I guess is kind of expensive for a wallet, right? But if you compare it to wallets that are like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, all those other ones, I mean, I think this is such a great deal and I love it. And I just realized I actually didn't even take the sticker off from the logo here. So let's do that together. Just removed it right now. I've been using this for a couple of weeks already. But yeah, so this one is different. This logo here is a metal material versus this logo, which we saw earlier, was a rubbery material. So the metal one should definitely last a lot longer. And this is what I was talking about with the D-ring. So I like to put an air tag on here. My car key fob. So this is my car key fob. It's a recent addition because I have had to call AAA like 3 times because I kept locking my key inside the car and I didn't have a fob. So I lost my fob. And so I finally went back to get a new one, and I keep this separately on this wallet because if I happen to lock my keys in the car again, I won't have to call AAA and I will just grab for my wallet and open it with the fob. So yeah, that is how bad my mind is sometimes these days. I think I'm just tired, but this is what I use it for. Obviously, you don't have to use it for this. You can use it for a variety of things, but for me, this is what works best. And I just attached this Lululemon live in the moment sort of wristlet thing. This actually came with a separate keychain and everything, but I wanted to put it on here just so it's easier for me to grab. And I guess this kind of becomes like a wristlet itself, but I like it, so I just use it like this. So yeah, this is my 3rd one, and I am using it, so I'm not going to open it because I have a bunch of things in here, but it's the same exact structure formation as the other ones. It's just a different colorway, and I just think it's so pretty. So hopefully they still have these online. I'll try to link it if it is still online. I think these are so pretty. And yeah, so that's why I have 3 of these items. All right, so we're done talking about Lululemon items. If you are here solely for that, thank you so much for dropping by. If you want to continue on to the rest of this video, we're going to do a really quick life update. I thought I'd just put this all into one so, I don't have to go on and on and on and bore everyone to death. But I just thought, I would do a life update after my last life update, which was a little while ago. But basically, I do realize I haven't filmed a video in a little while, and I've just been really, really tired. I don't know how everyone does it. I think it is amazing. I just feel tired these days, but there are a lot of things going on, so I kind of attribute it to that. But I think if you have been on this channel for a while, you probably know that I had a company restructuring more than a year ago. So it was in 2020. What is it now? It's 2024. So it was in 2023. Near October, we had a company restructuring, and a lot of people were let go, myself included. And it was a really tough moment in that time of my life because I've never been laid off, and it's kind of like breaking off from a relationship, without you agreeing to it and just being let go like that. But I think that in hindsight, it was definitely a blessing in disguise. But I guess for folks who have gone through that or are going through that newly right now, just know that there is the light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of times when things are not working out well, we feel like very emotionally drained or just very, questioning ourselves and all of that. I know it's really hard during those moments when things happen and you're feeling all these types of emotions and you're wondering, oh my gosh, what is my next step? What do I have to plan next? We all worry, and we worry because we care, right? And that's a great thing. And like you, I was very worried myself when, I, was laid off. I had no job at that time. And I was actually the next couple days, I was frantically searching. And within the next couple, I think it was like a week or 2 weeks, I was like, okay, I need to find a job, I need to find a new job. But then I stepped back, I thought about it, I spoke with my parents, I spoke with my then boyfriend, and just thought about it myself, life, there's so much more to life. It's about, understanding where your passions are, and if where you were before made you truly happy, then you are so lucky you have already moved in that right direction, and you can continue moving in that right direction. Maybe it's nice to have a little break to reset yourself, right? And if you weren't moving in the right direction, maybe it's time to take a step back and kind of reevaluate to see where you want to move forward to, right? I know that I go on LinkedIn these days still, even though I'm no longer going into biotech. And I see a lot of people posting about having not found a job for more than a year or, at least 6 months or something. And it's very depressing. And I do feel it because I thought about it myself. It's when you lose something that you work for, that's basically, I don't know if it's a good thing, but for me, it was 70% of my life, at least, right? Going to work, doing work when you're home, thinking about work during your off time. It kind of starts shaping you, defining you, and to suddenly have that lost, it's very impactful, and not in a good way, right? So I know how it feels because I've been through it, and I feel that, like I said earlier, it's not easy, and sometimes I really do believe, and I know it may sound a little trite, but I do believe that we have to go through some challenges in order to find the right path for us. And that's kind of what I did. I could have gone and moved down straight through biotech and found another job, in biotech for what I specialized in. But then I realized that, when I graduated from college, I just felt like, okay, I'm going to start here. I'm going to start at the lowest level, and then I'm going to keep working my way up. And that's kind of everyone's goals, right? To keep working your way up the corporate ladder. Not everyone's goals, I'm sorry, but some people's goals, my goals, I should just say myself, my goals at that point in time was just to work my way up the corporate ladder, to keep going, to keep getting better, to achieve that new promotion, to get to the next level, to make more money. Because coming from a very traditional Chinese family, that's kind of what was my self-worth, what proved to my family that I was good enough. And I think that, if I didn't do that, I just would be kind of left behind. So that's what I always did. I never stayed at a job for longer than 3 years. The longest job I stayed at was during COVID, and I was very thankful for that job. But every job I've stayed at from 1 to 2 years, and I jumped ship and I went to a different company because that was the only way I could keep moving upwards. And that's what I did for more than a decade since I graduated college. And I've learned so much, and I am forever thankful for all my mentors, all the places that hired me and gave me a chance and believed in me. And I am thankful regardless of, what happened, wherever, right? I just think that having given that opportunity is amazing in and of itself. But at the same time, I think that for me personally, because we live in corporate America, we live in a society that's so fast paced, it's just so easy to get drowned and to just keep going and going and going and, not really stop and look back and reflect. I mean, I think there are people who are able to do that, and I completely I think that's amazing. Kudos to you, but I did not do that, and I didn't realize that I wasn't doing that. It was just kind of going through the motions, and at the time, I was just very grateful that I was where I was, and I'm still grateful that I had a chance to experience that, but I realized that I was miserable. Like I said in that video, I was very miserable. I was upset. I was anxious. I was uncomfortable at my last job for the entire year. And it was just not the right place for me to be. And I realized that in hindsight. And I realized that if this is where I still want to continue my route after I was laid off last year, having that time to self-reflect, then I might just continue feeling that way for a very long time. And it just felt like something was on my chest and making me so uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I was just miserable, and I was bringing that back home. But even though it was a great job, it was a great title, it was a great comp, it wasn't making me very happy. So I did research, and I basically told my now fiance, then boyfriend, that, I want to work in healthcare, do something where I have direct people, interactions. I can directly help a patient. I can directly help people rather than working on software backlogs, prioritizing roadmaps, all that other stuff, and working with folks who sometimes are, a little difficult to work with. But I do realize that, in every profession, there are going to be difficult people. It's just the type of challenges you want to pick, right? You pick and choose your battles, what you're willing to deal with and what you're not willing to deal with. And I felt like, I had my journey there in biotech, and I'm forever grateful for it. I learned so much, but I think it's time to move on to something different that would make me happier and make me feel like I'm being purposeful in my life, and I'm doing something that I can actually feel like this happiness and this weight lifted off of my chest. So that's why I went into healthcare. Originally, I thought about becoming a certified anesthesiologist assistant because it required the least amount of schooling, and it would give me a steady income, and it would be working in healthcare, and I'd be doing something that would directly and positively impact people that I can physically see there myself. But then with certified anesthesiologist assistants, I realized that they're only able to practice in certain states, so that really limits where we could move. And he was like, obviously they can't practice in California, they can't practice in Boston or in Massachusetts. So he's like, well, the states where you could practice, Lily, it's not really states that I want to live in. So I was like, okay, well, I guess that's going out the door. So what else can I look into that would make more sense for me at this age? Because I am in my mid-30s. I'm not, a young girl anymore. I am in my mid-30s. So I need to be relatively careful with my career path decisions, right? And I don't want to go into it and be like, hey, I'm going to give up. I don't want to do this. I need to be sure of what I want to pursue. But it also can't be something that will take too long of a time because, we want to start a family, all of that good stuff. And so after some discussion with him, doing a lot of research myself, I decided I wanted to go into nursing school. And this is kind of where I'm at right now. And so I basically spent all of this year, 2024, starting from January 2024 through December now 2024, taking new prerequisites that are required for nursing schools like human anatomy, and retaking some courses that I had taken in my undergrad. about more than 10 years ago because they've expired and they no longer qualify. And plus I didn't do very well in those courses back then. So it was kind of nice to be able to retake it and relearn it and, understand it from a more mature mindset now. And I will say that going to class in my mid-30s compared to going to class or going to school when I was 18 is such a huge difference. I appreciate classes, I appreciate teachers, I appreciate the topics so much more, and I learned so much more. So I think it's just me. I don't know if you all have experienced that, but it's definitely been very humbling for me to go through that experience again. So I took all my classes. I'm still missing 2 classes for certain programs. I got into 2 programs, which I'll share a little bit about here. And I just realized I said this was going to be brief. I'm so sorry. It's actually not very brief because I tend to be chatty. So we're just going to continue with this story if you want to keep listening. But basically, I have 2 more courses. I have nutrition and I have pathophysiology I need to take for 2 of the schools that require it. The 2 schools I got accepted into, also one of them required nutrition, but I'm probably not going to go into that school program, but I'll let you know in a little bit. So I've been doing that all this year. And I also decided to go and get a certified nursing assistant license just to kind of, be in that environment and really know that this is something that I'm going to have to do in the future. And this is something I am able to do. It's a lot. It's a lot being a certified nursing assistant, and I have so much appreciation for folks who do that. It is amazing. I am just very grateful for what they do for other people, as part, it's incredible what they do. And so I was in that role for about less than 2 months, and it was just really hard for me. I've always just kind of sat in front of the computer or talked to people. I've never really done physical work before. So it was very difficult, especially when you're trying to turn patients or residents who are, 400 plus pounds by yourself. It's just, kind of hard. So it was a very humbling experience for me for sure. But then I was fortunate enough to get a hospital role. So I work at a local hospital right now. And it's, obviously it's not a CNA job. It's not a nursing assistant job. It's basically a scheduler job just because of certain things going on in my life that I felt like I shouldn't be, being too physical with moving patients right now. And I think that it's, I'm learning a lot. So where I'm working right now, it is in an operating environment. So it's basically perioperative, preoperative, post-operative services, all the departments. So I basically help the current scheduler schedule all these different times and shifts on calls for all these different nurses and scrub techs, etc. And yeah, it's not difficult work, but it's so detailed. And I feel like it's really interesting coming from a biotech, sort of working with software applications to working with Excels and scheduling. It's just like, I didn't think it would be that difficult. And it's not difficult. It's just so much to remember. Like all these different nurses have nicknames I have to remember. And then I have to remember all these different codes, what it means on Excel if you have, X or like an BD or something, all those different things. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And having worked so much in my life, this type of work is not difficult. Like I said, it's just a lot to remember. So I feel like I'm getting some of different gears kicking in my brain, which is not bad. And I do appreciate them giving me the opportunity because, again, I've never worked in a hospital, so I have no idea about the hospital jargon and what they do and how they do things. So I was very appreciative that, they gave me the opportunity to work there as a per diem to learn and see kind of how that environment is if I want to work inpatient or outpatient in the future. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. In terms of programs, I'm starting a program for sure next year, 2025. I just don't quite yet know which program at this moment. I mentioned in one of my last videos that I got into Northeastern University in Massachusetts. And the reason I chose Massachusetts for a lot of these programs is twofold. First, because they have amazing programs that have that have a variety of specialties. On the East Coast, they have more programs. In California, we have only family nurse practitioner. Over there, they have adult neuro, they have women's health, they have peds, they have psychiatry, they have all different types of specialties there. And also because my fiance actually wanted to move back to Massachusetts for a little bit, or actually he said that he wanted to move back, but now that I've gotten accepted, he actually thinks, you know what, California isn't too bad. So I was like, well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think right now, wherever program I get into, the remaining programs that I, might get into, we'll have to make a decision. But worst case scenario is we live there for a couple of years and then we move back to California and then I can work here. But I have never actually lived outside of California, so this will be a very, very interesting and exciting journey if we do decide to go that route. But yeah, Northeastern was one of the schools that accepted me. I got accepted into their adult gero acute care nurse practitioner program. And I'm going to, like I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to create a new channel just for nursing. So I'll talk more about the details of that because I don't, want to talk about all that in this video. It's going to be way too long. That's the program I got into. In order to complete that program, I would need 5 years total, because 2 years I would be required to work as an RN first before I continue on to the NP portion of it. For the other program I got accepted into, which I'm actually completely thrilled about, it's actually Boston College, and I'm so excited. I literally jumped in the air when I saw the acceptance letter in the email. I was just so excited and so humbled to have been accepted and so grateful. But basically I got accepted into their program. They do not unfortunately offer an adult gero acute care nurse practitioner specialty. What they do offer is an adult gero primary care. So that's quite a bit different. And I was just kind of thinking about, that's the program I applied to. I'm really excited about Boston College's program. It's a great school. They have a great nursing program. And you get a master's of nursing for after the first 15 months. And after the next 2 years, you get the nurse practitioner master's degree in that specific specialty you chose. So I'm really excited about that. I really am leaning about 80% towards that program. I'm still waiting on a couple other programs. I'll also tell you the programs that I got rejected from. I got rejected from, Regis. Yeah. Is it called Regis or Regis University or Regis College? The one in Massachusetts as well. That was for, I think, an adult gero or primary care or a family nurse practitioner program. So I got rejected from that one. And I also got rejected from UMass Chan Medical School for their DNP program. So that's a doctorates of nurse practitioner program, which is also direct entry. But you only get a GED. You don't get like a bachelor's or master's in nursing. You get your final degree at the end of the program, which is a doctorate of nurse practitioner, which is why I applied to that program, because none of the other ones had a DNP. Unfortunately, I got rejected from that program. So the other schools I'm waiting for, Simmons University, which is also in Massachusetts. The other one I'm waiting for is MGH, Mass Gen Hospital, which is for an adult gero acute care nurse practitioner program. And I'm also waiting on UPenn. They have an MSN program first, and then also adult gero acute care nurse practitioner program. And the only ones I'm waiting in California are only two. First one is University of Pacific. If you've heard of it, they have a direct entry program. They have only an MSN, a Master's of Nursing, as a generalist, not a specialty. So you wouldn't do the nurse practitioner program. They don't have that part. So I'm not as interested in that one. But I just applied just in case I didn't get into any programs. And then the other one is Samuel Merritt, which is very difficult to get into because it's very competitive. But they offer a nurse practitioner program, which is, what I would like to do. And that's what my aim is. They have only family nurse practitioner and clinical case management, which I'm not interested in. So they don't have adult gero. That's the only thing. So I guess I would just learn more about kids if I got into the program. My mom did say that ideally it would be better to get into a program close at home, but I really, really think BC's program is going to be so awesome. Yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. So I am excited. I know at least I got accepted into at least one program, and a really good program that I am very excited to start learning from. The only thing will be the move and all of that, because the BC program actually starts in July of 2025, not in fall. So we have very little short time here, especially that since we're getting married next year, and a lot of things happening next year. So it's going to be a very fun 2025. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I thought I would update you all if you were interested. Like I said, I'm going to create a new channel and talk a little bit more in detail about the different programs and how to get into nursing school based on my stats, which weren't really great, honestly. I guess it's most of my experience. At least my stats from undergrad weren't great, but grad school was a lot better. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. And if it's something you're interested in, definitely follow me there, but I will make an announcement in a future video on this channel to let you know, so you can go there. But otherwise, thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you for spending some time with me. It is actually kind of late right now, so I'm getting really tired. So if I sound tired, this video, I apologize, but I really wanted to make this video for you all because I know I've been missing for about 2 weeks now. So yeah, anyways, happy holidays. I think I will also make more videos next week, because we're traveling to North Carolina and I won't be working and classes will be done, although I do have another online class, the pathophysio one, I need to work on. But other than that, I should be pretty much free. Don't have to take care of any animals. So hopefully I will be able to make some more videos next week for you all. But yeah, thank you. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. And I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.